The Morning Drive is sponsored by Power Metallic. To find out more about the company, please visit their website at powermetallic.com. Follow the Money Investor Group is a 100% Indigenous-owned company and certified with the Canadian Council for Aboriginal Business.
Peter,
Carl,
welcome on the Morning Drive.
nice to meet you, man.
Yes, you're looking dapper.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I thought this is the one place I can pull a suit like this off in New Orleans. So.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Surprised you didn't get a funky hat. I should have got you a funky hat for the interview.
yeah, throw a feather in it.
That would have been a great thumbnail, actually.
Yeah, that's right.
So you're El Presidente of Silverwolf Exploration.
I am, yes.
Before we get into the value prop, or the pitch for the potential new investor, let's figure out who you are, man. Where are you from?
I am from Vancouver, British Columbia. I was actually born in St. Paul's Hospital.
Okay.
My family moved out to Cloverdale when I was 8 years old, but I went back to UBC. They have a great mining program, so I'm a technical guy by education.
Yeah.
Did the metallurgy program there. And actually, it was before the crash, 2008, and got a call from a friend. I was working actually in Fort McMurray in the oil sands. I needed, because that's kind of a mining operation up there.
Sure.
And I got a call from a friend. And
Making the big bucks?
Yeah, it was with Shell, which
Making
was really
the big bucks and buying trucks.
That's right.
Is that what you were doing?
No, I didn't buy any trucks. And
you had a head on your shoulders.
Yeah, for sure. It was a nice place. I didn't mind Fort McMurray. But a friend of mine, it's minus 50, I'm getting on the bus at 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine calls me up and he's like, hey, do you want to travel the world and sell mining equipment? I'm 23 years old, right out of school, in Fort Mac.
And you're not going to freeze your butt off.
Yeah, I'm like, sure, sign me up, right? So it was for a company, it was a vendor in the mining space, and they sold this one particular type of equipment that if you were a gold mine, you pretty much had to have one of these, and there are only 2 companies in the world that made them.
So easy to sell.
They're both out of Vancouver. And so that's what sent me around the world. So I was fixing these things or installing them or troubleshooting them. And so I went all around the world, Russia, Argentina, West Africa, Brazil, spent a lot of time in Laos, the Philippines, all over the place.
Really?
Yeah. And so I'd fix up this piece of equipment, and if that was done, then I'd walk around the rest of it. And like, let's learn about something else in the mine. So
that's cool. So you had a general interest for it then?
It gave me a really good broad understanding of different mining operations relatively early in my career across many different countries and cultures.
Cool.
And so I really liked that. And then, I kind of transitioned that into working at different sites. Worked in the Yukon for a little while, and as I mentioned, Argentina. I've kind of always been involved in silver. I kind of gravitated towards silver. I kind of really liked it from, that kind of dual industrial and financial instrument sort of case of silver.
Yeah.
Went back to school, did my MBA, and then got a corporate gig with Avino, Silver and Gold. I'm the VP of Technical Services there. And sorry, I'm just kind of giving you my origin story here. But yeah,
I'll bring it back. Don't worry.
I'm the, as I mentioned, a technical guy by education. I've been working with Avino, and I saw these other properties in Avino, and that we weren't getting any value for, exploration properties. And the CEO of the company, his father started the company in 1968, believe it or not. So a lot of history there, and he had a bunch of public companies, and so we actually had this other public company on the shelf. And I said, hey, why don't we put those properties that we're not getting any value for in Avino into this public company that's sitting on the shelf that's clean, and I'll run it. I volunteered to run it.
And how long ago was that?
That was in 2021.
Okay. So let's pull it back a little bit, right? I want to get to know you a little bit more. You grew up in Vancouver. Did you play sports?
I did, yeah. High school football. I still play on the flag football team now, actually.
Hey,
with
that's
a group
cool.
With the same group of dudes that I've been playing for 20 years.
Okay.
And then all the sports, I played I'm one of the only Canadians that can't skate, believe it or not. So
No way.
yeah,
You must get chirped for that pretty
all
hard.
the time. But I was a good ball hockey player.
Okay, okay. So
yeah.
you got a wrist shot on you.
There you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Just can't put you on ice.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so do you have any siblings?
I have a sister actually. So I moved to North Van a number of years ago now, which I love. And my sister lives 5 blocks away, which is really cool. So,
Do you guys have kids?
you know, my wife and I, and it's just a year in, we just adopted a girl from kind of a crazy situation.
Okay,
Um,
that's pretty cool.
yeah, yeah. So, and it's actually came through my CEO David's introduction, believe it or not. So the CEO of Avino and the chairman of Silverwolf introduced me to the gentleman who had to find a place for his daughter. And so
Wow.
this was a guy that has 73 years old and had Parkinson's, and was essentially destitute at this point, and needed a place for his daughter. Didn't have any next of kin.
How old was his daughter? How old was
She's now 12.
Okay.
So
Hey,
there's a whole backstory
good
to
for you,
that.
man.
Yeah. So we're almost a year into that now. Shakira is her name, half Filipino, half Italian.
Beautiful name.
Yeah, it's named after the singer.
Right.
Has such a beautiful relationship with my wife, which is really cool, because young girls at this age, they certainly need kind of a strong woman as a role model in
Sure.
their life. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Now, does your sister have kids?
My sister, interestingly enough, married into a relationship with 2 kids.
So she has stepkids.
So she has stepkids, niece and nephew, and they're both great. I get along with both of them. My niece is just started university at Simon Fraser University, their university in Vancouver there, in business.
Mm-hmm.
And my nephew is in the training program to become a chef through, who's the guys that run Cactus Club? What's that group?
I don't know who they are, but I do like eating there.
Yeah. So he wants to be a chef.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What do you do to decompress from work? I mean, obviously you've got this family life, so you
Right.
have that. But anything else that
Oh.
you would want to,
Uh,
people know about you?
I have a dog. I have a Vizsla. So they're a Hungarian pointer, and he's just lightning. He's super fast. So we're always outside, being on the North Shore. We're in the mountains all the time.
Sure.
A mountain bike with him, and take him on a lot of walks and hikes and all that jazz.
Okay. The relationship with Silverwolf and the other company,
Yeah. Yeah.
let's get into that. So
Yeah.
you just had this other vehicle sitting on the shelf. Maybe the market changed or something, and you wanted to get some people involved and do it, or
I love the junior mining space since I started in the mining business out of school. I just love the dynamic nature of it. I love the hustle about it. I like the potential of making a huge discovery. That's really exciting to me.
the hunt.
The treasure hunt. I love that. So I wanted to be involved and I wanted to take a crack at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought this was a kind of a cool opportunity for, because it's not easy to break into that space if you're a young entrepreneur in the mining space,
Yeah.
And it's not easy to go from, a technical discipline to kind of more an entrepreneurial discipline in running a mining company.
What are some of the challenges that you've had, to go through in your career in the mining space? I'm sure there's a lot you can talk about. But
Yeah.
maybe just the first one or two that kind of stand out to you that you learned a few things or avoided a crisis, or maybe you went through a crisis.
Yeah. Well, I've always felt like I've been the youngest person in the room, and like I'm coming on 20 years in the business.
Right.
My whole career has been spent in it, and there's just there's this huge body of knowledge in the mining space, and it can be pretty insular, So if you don't crack into the right group or you don't get your opportunity, it can be hard to break in, and I think that's just kind of part and parcel of the boom and bust nature of it, and that's there's kind of these small groups. So that was a challenge to try and find, hey, how am I going to find my place in this industry?
Yeah.
So that took a number of.
Cactus Club's a good place to hang out in the sub communities.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. And it's finding the right fit for you, like, because there's all
Yes,
sorts of
your people.
my type of personality fits with what type of group, and
Sure.
you want to be with the type of people that you feel good about, and you want to work with people that you enjoy being around,
Yeah.
especially if you're going to dedicate how much time and effort to this type of business that is required.
Yeah.
You want to be doing it with people that you also enjoy.
Very well said. So how did you find those people? How did you crack that?
Yeah, I mean, so I met David on the golf course, believe it or not. And you were talking sports or whatever it is. It was an industry tournament, and I just happened to be paired with him. And I don't know if I was working out at this time or something, but I was crushing drives.
Oh yeah.
And he saw this, and he's like, "Hey," and we're chatting a little bit. It's a foursome. It's like, "Hey, I can see you're doing quite well here. We have another tournament, but we need some good players for it. Can you join me on this tournament?" So I got kind of a special invite where we got to spend even more time together. And it's kind of been the one time in my sports career where it actually paid off. Actually,
Nice. Okay, let's get into the sort of the value proposition of this company.
yeah.
If our audience, potential new investors for you, go for it. I mean, if someone takes a position right now, what do they have to look forward to?
Right. So, we just completed a financing, and we're fully funded to drill the Scarn target on our property. And so once again, we're at that pre-discovery stage. To me, this is the most exciting part. It's kind of the most romantic part of the business, where you're going from, here's some ideas, here's some good sampling, here's some indications that there's something here. Let's get a drill program going, and let's hit that discovery hole. So a relatively simple value proposition. Hey, we have some money. We have a drill program laid out. We have a good target in Mexico with a team that can execute on it. Let's make a discovery.
Any mines in that area? It's in Mexico, so I'm sure there probably is.
There's lots of mines in that area. We're kind of on a known geological structure that's created a number of mines there. We are in Durango, and that's the place that Avino has their mine, the state, I should say, that has their main asset, their main couple of mines. So they know the state quite well. We know the state quite well as far as getting all the required services and resources and that sort of thing there. And there's a ton of mines. Durango is a very mining-friendly jurisdiction from all sorts of companies there that I can name as well.
So when it comes to permitting for your drill, campaign, how much can you drill for how long?
So we've laid out a 3,000 meter program. That's 13 holes, and we're essentially ready to go. And as far as permitting is concerned, we have our drill permits in hand, and yeah, we have our drill contractor, so we're ready to go there.
Capital structure? Where's your bias here? How much do you own in the company?
Yeah, so management and insiders own about 50% of the company. Avino's taken a large position in the company.
Mm-hmm.
We have about 56 million shares outstanding right now, so pretty tight. And it's
Very tight.
Yeah, for a little exploration company, for sure. And that we realize the only way you create value in this business is by making a discovery. So we're trying to be very efficient with our capital. I don't get paid a salary at Silverwolf, which is very unusual for most junior companies.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and no one, the CFO doesn't, and the VP of exploration doesn't, because we recognize the only way you create value is by making a discovery, and we want to be really efficient with that capital, put all that money that we raise into the ground and not spend it on other things.
Well, you know what? You're the first issuer in New Orleans to come out and say that there's no salaries here.
Yeah.
I mean, there might be a few, but not really, I guess. So what's your overhead?
As far as our burn rate,
Yeah.
we try and keep that down to a minimum, right? Obviously, the guys in Mexico, you need to pay, and the drill contractors and that sort of thing. But we recognize that's what's allowed us to survive in the hard times, right? Be really, really lean, and focus on the technical work to get that to make that discovery. That's really the key. And I do get a salary from Avino. I am still the VP of technical services there, so I can survive and obviously provide for the
But for the
family.
The exploration company gets to benefit from
Exactly.
from the lack of drawdown on the funds.
Yeah, and it's those synergies that really, that's really the way we can see exploration companies work, because otherwise you're raising money all the time, you're diluting the stock all the time.
Yeah.
That makes it a really tough cycle to get out of. So
Always overhang.
yeah, but at the same time, hey, you need to drill and you need to put money into the ground. This is the only way you're going to make a discovery.
True. Any strategic shareholders, other than the Avino family?
Yeah, I mean that's significant for us, for sure. And that's the company that knows us the best and is willing to back us.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's interesting, and I would like our audience to know that we're going to be doing an X space with you guys. Go in the description of this video below if you like what you hear. If you a lot of people right now are very interested in silver. It's you got the wind behind your backs. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially with a little bit of a pullback today. There's some weakness, in gold and silver. It's been running on highs. People don't like to buy on highs, so it's a good time for us to do more of a deep dive into the project there in Mexico. So go in the description of this video. We'll put the X link and we'll put the date so you can add it to your calendar. Peter,
Carl,
I'll drop you back off at the conference. It's been a fantastic morning drive, learning about you, the family, and a bit of the company, and very much looking forward to that X space and hopefully get you some new investors. And if anyone wants to reach out to the company, where can they get a hold of you?
Go to the website, silverwolfexploration.com. P. Latta, that's my first name is Peter, last name Latta, at silverwolfexploration.com.
Congrats on your financing, by the way.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right, take care.
Cheers.